That night, the drums at Kalakuta stopped. Nobody ever said what really happened, but we all heard the scream. I was there, and I still can't forget what I saw. I was only 22 when it happened. Back then, Kalakuta wasn't just a house, it was a world of its own. A whole community that didn't play by the rules. You could smell the rebellion, the freedom, before you even reached the gate. There were always drums, laughter, vibrant women, and that deep, soulful sound of the saxophone that felt like a revolution itself. Everyone around Fela Anikulapo Kuti called him Baba. He wasn't just a musician to us, he was a voice. But if you stayed close enough, you'd start to feel something else around him, like he carried more than just music. Like something ancient followed him, protecting him. That evening, everything started as usual. Fela Anikulapo was on stage, his bare chest shining with sweat, colorful beads dancing around his neck. The crowd was electric, shouting his name, clapping in rhythm. He'd laugh between songs, mocking the government in sharp Yoruba, making the soldiers out to be fools. Around midnight, the power went out, not unusual in Lagos, but this time the backup generator refused to start. People began to whisper anxiously in the sudden darkness. Then Fela said something I'll never ever forget. He spoke into the dead mic, his voice booming. "May Kuna no fear. If them one come, spirit go fight for us," he said. It loud, looking straight into the darkness beyond the shrine. Some people laughed, others clapped, but I didn't, because in that moment the air turned cold. Still, as if the entire night was holding its breath. Then we heard it, footsteps, not running, slow, steady, heavy boots crunching on gravel. No music, no talking, just that unnerving sound getting closer. Fela turned from the stage and walked toward the door. He didn't look scared, he just said, "Lakam." A few of us dared to peep through the cracks in the windows. Soldiers stood outside the gate, maybe 15 of them. But behind them, and I swear on my life I'm not lying, there was someone else. Not in uniform. Tall, thin, with something like smoke swirling around his body. You couldn't see a face. The first soldier lifted his rifle. And that was when Fela shouted from inside, "You can kill the body, but spirit no they die." Then everything went pitch black. The lights, the torches, everything, total darkness. The scream came seconds later. It wasn't Fela's, and it wasn't a soldier's. It was just one long, painful cry that made my knees buckle. People panicked, running, falling over each other. I hid behind a tree across the street, shaking uncontrollably. The shrine started glowing with a strange red light. I thought it was fire, but the glow wasn't spreading. It was just breathing. When morning came, the soldiers were gone. Smoke was still rising from inside, but the building was standing. Fela Anikulapo walked out barefoot, silent, holding his saxophone. His eyes looked empty, like he'd seen another world. He just said, "Spirit don't pass. Go house." Nobody dared to ask questions. But later that day, whispers spread that some of the soldiers who came that night never returned to their barracks. Some said they went mad. Others said they were simply taken. For the next 7 nights, people swore they heard faint music playing from the locked shrine, even though it was empty. Just one song, looping over and over again, "Zombie." To this day, I still wonder what really happened that night. All I know is after that, the drums at Kalakuta never stopped again. Thanks for listening to this story. If you found it as haunting as I did, hit that like button and subscribe for more untold histories. See you in the next one.